Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start. It is the end of April, which is kind of crazy, but here we are. Towards the end of each month or the beginning of the following month, I like to share two different empties videos. The first being my home fragrance empties, which is what we're talking about today. And tomorrow I will be sharing my beauty empties. So if you're interested in the beauty empties, definitely make sure you subscribe. But anyway, today we're gonna go through my bucket of empties. I actually already started recording this video a little while ago. Sorry, Alpha's readjusting. But I'm having these massive coughing attacks, and so I went and finally took my allergy meds. I don't know how quickly they're gonna kick in, but I need to get this video done because I have some other things I need to do today. So anyway, let's just get into it. Check out the description box for a bunch of links. If you don't know what a candle crock is, if you don't know what a candle lamp is, you are going to want to check out the description box and check out the videos that I have referenced there. I show you guys what I do with leftover wax, either from my Scentsy or even my candles that I have underneath my lamps or in my crocks. I have where you can purchase all the candles that I'm showing you guys. I have discount codes. There's a ton of information in the description box, so feel free to check that out if you are so inclined. And without further ado, because there's a lot to get through, I'm just gonna start plowing through these. I'm gonna give you guys some final thoughts. That's the whole purpose of this video, is just to let you know whether I loved the home fragrance product or not, whether I would repurchase it, whether I thought it was, you know, true to the fragrance notes. Just, you know, some general information to hopefully help you make a decision about whether you want to pick up any of these things yourselves. So without further ado, we're going to get started with the candles that are to my right, your left. This is where I actually left off before I decided I'm just gonna refilm this. So anyway, let's go. Banana Split Sundae from HomeWorx. Listen, we're starting on a little bit of a like womp womp note for me personally, because this is not my favorite fragrance from HomeWorx. I just recently reviewed this past weekend. It was sent to me in PR, so just so you guys are aware. I think that this just isn't a very like rich smelling gourmand from HomeWorx. Harry does gourmands and fruity scents, I think, incredibly well. I think that that's the area where HomeWorx definitely excels for me personally, is in the gourmand section of things. I love when he combines fruity with gourmand, and normally it's done incredibly well. But this just doesn't smell very rich, or I don't know, it just smells a little bit almost watered down in a way. Harry does great with banana scents. Banana isn't like my go-to like fruity scent, but a lot of people love banana, and I think HomeWorx has done some great banana fragrances, but I don't think this is the best. I certainly burned it the whole way down. You can see here, there were no issues with discoloration. There's a little bit of wax left in the bottom, but it's a very thin layer. And the wick clips, you know, extinguished the flames themselves. So I just let this one go until it was all done. The strength and throw was kind of as well. I feel like this could be a really great scent, but I just don't think this was like the best executed HomeWorx scent. But I will tell you this, I also received this candle in the same PR package. And this one, I was afraid I wasn't gonna like at all because there's grape in here, and I didn't know that this was gonna have grape in it. I thought it was literally gonna smell like, you know, these pops that you get from like those ice cream carts, you know, that drive around neighborhoods in the summer. The rainbow pops, like you guys, this is great. It's a great scent. Honestly, when I saw grape, I immediately thought, I'm gonna hate it. But then I decided, okay, just at least smell it. It's actually pretty decent. Listen, my aversion to grape kind of revolves around Stella's aversion to grape. When she was younger, you know, a lot of children's medicine are either grape flavored or cherry flavored. Cherry and grape aren't my like go-to faves in the fruity department, because I just remember having to like force Stella to take medication, because sometimes like the unflavored options just weren't in stock at the store, and so I would have to get grape or I would have to get cherry, and she just hated both of them. And I just remember like that medicinal, especially grape fragrance, And a lot of times in home fragrance, grape smells medicinal to my nose, just like her, you know, children's acetaminophen used to smell when I would buy that in the liquid format. I'm happy to report that it's a definite, like, slightly Kool-Aid-y grape type fragrance, but it's done quite well. I think it's the fact that the other notes in here, especially the summer berries, the sugar, and the vanilla kind of help to tamp that grape down. I think that's what maybe makes this more enjoyable for me. But I would actually definitely repurchase this one. Not this summer. I have no business repurchasing any candles this summer because I'm still trying to get through a lot of my backup stash of HomeWorx candles. If you guys are new, I'm on a little bit of a mission to whittle down my collection so that everything fits into a closet at the top of our stairwell here. I'm doing quite well. I'm specifically focusing on the HomeWorx collection because these candles are quite large, right? Like, compare this to a Bath & Body Works candle, compare this to a Kringle candle, for example. These are just they're big. They're big. They take up a lot of space, and honestly, from years of just buying sets of 2 or trios from QVC, I have a lot. And I am past that point in my life where I'm just collecting and collecting and collecting nonstop. That really started to stress me out, and so I made a commitment to create a candle closet in my house, which means that I don't want candles anywhere else in my house. I don't want them downstairs. I don't want them underneath the guest bed. I don't want them in our master closet. I don't want them in, you know, the cabinet in our entryway. I just want them all in one place. And so in order to do that, a lot of the HomeWorx candles have to be used up. So that's what I'm on a mission of doing. So I'm not buying a bunch of HomeWorx candles this spring and summer. It'll be harder for me in the fall, to be completely honest. HomeWorx really excels in the fall and around the holidays, but I'm gonna have to work my way through that as well, because I have a number of backup candles for the fall and the winter as well. But once this year is done, I think I'm gonna be at a point where starting in the spring of next year, I will be ready to purchase, you know, much more frequently from both QVC and HomeWorx.shop for new fragrances. And I'm just gonna be very mindful that if it comes from QVC in a set of 2, only 1 set is allowed, period. I don't care how much I love it. And if I'm purchasing it from .shop, like, it's just one of whatever scent I'm interested in. And then once I finish that one and I'm placing another order, yes, you can order that beloved backup of something, but not until you finish the first one. Those are just rules I've put in place for myself. I don't think everyone should do this. It just is, I don't know. I might be having a midlife crisis. I'm 45 this year, and just clutter kind of gets to me at this stage in life. So it's what I need to do. So anyway, moral of the story is I'll repurchase this next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays in the HomeWorx lineup. So, but let's stick with HomeWorx because I had another one of those over here. Oh, this is one of those ones where it's gonna be really freaking hard for me this summer, you guys, to not repurchase it. This is the Blueberry Violet Tart. This is where gourmand meets fruity heaven in HomeWorx land. If you have not tried this one and you love the type of blueberry that Harry typically uses, I know I do, I'm a huge fan. This one is so well done. Again, there's in-depth reviews of all of these here on my channel, but this one is fresh blueberries, violet petals, baked pastry, and vanilla bean. I know that violet petals note sounds really random, but it works, you guys. I could not get enough of this one. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. I have one left. It's currently in my dining room. I haven't lit it up yet. I will definitely light it up in May. I will enjoy it in the month of May. But yeah, ooh, that was gonna be hard. Okay, let's do a couple of crinkle candles. So this is Unicorn Poop. This is Fairy's Floss. These are both from the Fantasy collection. This collection isn't like one that they're like promoting wholeheartedly. And I believe that the Fairy's Floss is completely sold out. Unicorn Poop is still available, I think. And then I'm pretty sure Mermaid Scales is still available, but Unicorn Poop is basically just an exact dupe, finish this one, of Aquilina's Pink Sugar. If you liked that perfume in the early 2000s, like your girl did, and you like smelling like a sugary explosion, might I recommend Unicorn Poop. I also love the name. There are some people out there who don't like the fact that there's poop in the name of this fragrance. And I don't know, maybe it's because I still have the humor of a 12-year-old boy, but I think it's funny. I think the word poop is funny. Right, Alphonse? Alphonse and I joke about poop a lot. Anyway, Fairy's Floss is a little bit more of like a sweet, kind of like a sweeter floral. I love it. I think I have 1 or 2 backups of this one. Now I did put the last little bit of this one into a candle crock. So there's no fragrance oils left in here. I can't even really smell what this used to smell like. I believe it has like a fair amount of like citrus in it from what I recall. But it's just really, it's a really beautiful, sweet, citrusy, floral, kind of perfumey scent. And you can't get it, so there's no point in me really talking much about it. That one is definitely sold out, I believe. Okay, Tiki Beach. How long did it take this girl, who loves all things coconut, to try all of these coconutty scents from Bath & Body Works that I should have been trying years ago? It took me so long to actually just finally pick this up in store and go, that actually smells delicious. Why have I never picked this up before? Like I'm legitimately mad at myself for ignoring Tiki Beach for the last however many years it's been out, but I'm ignoring it no more. What I think Bath & Body Works excels at, especially, at least for me personally, is coconut scents. Both beautiful, musky, perfumey coconuts, but also even the slightly more like gourmandy coconut scents as well. I just think they do it really well. And this is a perfect example of a coconut fragrance done incredibly well. So there's still a couple more that I want to try. So the next time there's a $12.95 sale, I'll be partaking. Let's cross our fingers that that's soon. Also, where are my coupons? They're really not generous with the 20% off coupons anymore, are they? That's a bummer. All right, this is from 2017. This is the very first iteration of Berry Waffle Cone. I went ham. I think I either bought 25 or 30 of these. Yeah. So that's the type of collector that I used to be. Just this one scent, not, you know, like a bunch of scents. Purchased a bunch of other scents in addition to the like 25 or 30 of these at the time. I think this is the very best. I've tried some subsequent releases of Berry Waffle Cone. It's not the same as the OG, you guys. I'm down to, I think, my last 2 at this point, which is a major bummer, but you know, it is what it is. I am now enjoying all of these things and not hoarding them. This was just so rich and beautiful. By the way, the last little bit of this had to go into the candle crock because the wick studded out. And that was, I think, the first out of the like 25 or 30 that I have had that happened to. So a little bit of a bummer, but it certainly spent like the last week of its life warming in the laundry room, actually downstairs in our house. And it was 24/7 Berry Waffle Cone, and it was amazing. I was actually sad to turn it off, but I did. And then I poured the last little bit of wax into a fire starter that I was making for the fireplace in our backyard. If you're curious about how I make my fire starters for the backyard, check the video in the description box down below. These aren't like travel friendly necessarily, at least the candle crates that I do. But if you find like a bunch of pine cones and stuff, you can dip those in wax and, you know, then put those into a Ziploc bag and use those as fire starters, maybe for camping trips or things this summer. But yeah, man, if you like to camp, definitely utilize your leftover wax for making fire starters. Okay, this is Farmstand Peach. Oh, I love Farmstand Peach. I love Farmstand Peach. This is one of my holy grails. I have many backups of this particular scent because I went ham on the trios from QVC several years ago when they came back again. So you have the Farmstand Peach, the strawberry, and the blueberry, and I love all 3. I love burning all 3 together in the house. There is no better summer trifecta than those 3, and I'm really glad to see that the Farmstand candles are available now individually over on Dot Shop. So if you want to try any of them, you can use my discount code to save an additional 15% off your purchase of $40 or more. Again, check out the description box for that. Okay, here we have a Marshmallow Morning. So I burned most of this, and then the last, I would say half of it, I ended up putting it into a candle crock, and then I did pour the melted wax into another fire starter that I had going. Marshmallow Morning is fantastic. It smells very similar to the sprinkled macarons fragrance. So I don't think they're 100% the same across the board. I do think there's a definite, well, I wouldn't say like super definite to maybe most people. It's probably a slight difference, but I smell a little bit of that almond meal, which is required for macarons in the sprinkled macarons, or they're calling it sprinkled macarons. But anyway, if you can't get sprinkled macaroons right now because it's sold out again, I would say get the Marshmallow Morning, and you'll get a very similar experience. So, okay, I have a few, well, two candles from Candleberry here. We have the Sparkling Tangerine. This one actually went into a candle crock for a couple of days. I smell a little bit of the tangerine left in here. This one was pink sugar. Now this one actually extinguished itself, but there's still quite a bit of wax in the bottom. So I also put this one on just a like regular hot plate warmer to extract a little bit more of that pink sugar fragrance from here. These were both supposed to be contenders for another cookie jar for me from Candleberry. However, I don't think either of these are that contender. I still haven't landed on what I want to do. I'm kind of coming to a point where I might not even pick another spring summer fragrance, just because those cookie jars are enormous and that is going to last me forever. And I don't like putting used candles away for the following year. I just know I'm not going to finish a summer scent from a cookie jar at this point. So I'm thinking that I might want to pick something that's more in the like holiday range that I can also use maybe during the fall months. So I'm thinking about, I don't know if they do a lot of tree scents at Candleberry. If you're more familiar with their like holiday fragrances, is there a good tree scent? And I'm just talking very straightforward, either balsam, like a nice warmer balsam, not with that like icy, cool, fresh air type of vibe. Like I don't want mint mixed in there. Like no peppermint, no, definitely not spearmint. Nothing minty. Like I don't like that like fresh air type vibe that a lot of people like to pair with holiday tree notes. I like a more warm, cozy type. Like you just brought your tree into your warm house and that like sweet, sappy smell, that. Find me that over at Candleberry so I can have a giant cookie jar in that. Anyway, we have Santorini. Santorini from HomeWorx. Oh, this is another one of those PR candles that when I first got it, I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. But when I burned it, I fell in love with this. I'm so thankful they sent this to me because I don't think that I would have purchased it otherwise. And now, oh, I want more. Really desperately want more, but I cannot have it this season. It'll be fine. I think this one was good enough to where I think it'll stick around, so I have my fingers crossed. All right, love that. Love it. A lot of wax melts in here, but let's keep going. All right, here we have Strawberry Lemonade. Okay, so this one I mostly finished to about right here. And then the last little bit of it, I did end up putting into a candle crock. And then after all the fragrance was extracted from this, I poured out the wax into a another one of those fire starters I was working on. This is Strawberry Lemonade. It was new for spring, summer this year. I love it. This will be a repurchase for me this summer from Kringle for sure, specifically Country Candle, but I think I want it in the wax melts. So typically they do some decent wax melt sales during the summer. I think they realize that a lot of people tend to like melt over burn during the summer because it's so much warmer outside. So melting makes a little bit more sense. So I'm waiting for a really good like if they had a $2 wax melt sale, I would go ham. But typically I think $2.50 is kind of like the best deal that I've seen on wax melts. And that's a really good deal for the Kringle wax melts for sure. So delightful, would recommend even if you want it in candle format. Okay, here we have a HomeWorx Christmas cupcake. This was one from the from underneath the lamp, and you can tell because yeah, I had to pour off the wax. There's still the last little layer in the bottom here. There's no fragrance to this at all. The lamp sort of caused all of the, not sort of, it caused all the fragrance oils to warm up and dissipate out of the wax, just like a crock does. But you do have to pour off the wax, so that can get a little messy. I know some people have asked me how I pour off the wax without making a mess. Yeah, I just put paper towels down, and then I make sure that I'm careful. I mean, that's the only way that I know how to do it, is I just will put paper towels down on our kitchen counter, and then I'm typically more pouring this wax into my little cardboard crates, you know, from candle purchases, to pop those into our fireplace. So I don't know, I guess I have kind of a large like opening that I'm pouring into. So I typically don't make a huge mess. I don't know. That being said, maybe it's just years of doing this at this point. Maybe like I've learned some finesse with it, but I don't know of a better way to explain doing it other than just make sure you either put some newspapers down to catch the wax drippings that may happen, and just be mindful. I mean, that's honestly the only advice I can give. Okay, this one here. Okay, I really didn't get very far into this, did I, before I put it into a crock? Also, I didn't do anything with this wax either. Can I smell anything? Not really, but I remember loving this scent. It's the Daffodil Dreams. It's with marshmallow, pastel clouds, and sweet daffodil. Love this scent. Virtually unscented, however, so light. Did a little bit better in the crock for sure. I love the scent. I just wish that they would amp up the strength and throw. Truly, I was shocked at how light that was. One of my issues that like is sort of new to me with Bath and Body Works these days is the strength and throw. That's never been an issue in the past, but I notice a lot of the candles are a lot lighter these days. I'm really keeping an eye on the time. We are at 21 minutes and we still have a little ways to go. I don't want to have to edit this video at all, so I'm just gonna kind of plow on. I want to repurchase this, but I need it to be reformulated so that I can hopefully get something out of it when I'm burning it. I don't know. I just love the scent so much. Okay, here we have Sage and Palo Santo. Now, I did finish this one outside in our backyard. There's actually a couple of, oh, they're bees. I know, it broke my heart when I saw that honeybees had fallen into the wax. It broke my heart. I don't mind if there's mosquitoes or other bugs that get caught up in the wax in the candles that I burn outside under a covered patio, but I always feel bad about the bees. So anyway, Sage and Palo Santo is a very smoky, I would say almost kind of incensey type of fragrance. It's not really something that's right up my alley. This candle was sent in PR, but I actually really liked it out back. It made sense when, you know, we had the fireplace going. And I know it sounds silly to a lot of people probably that I burn candles outside, but our backyard, the covered patio area, is like a second living room for us. We spend most of the year out there. Even when it's raining and cold in the fall and the winter here in Oregon, we're still out back because the fireplace keeps us warm. We have a TV out there. I don't know how this TV hasn't like bit the dust yet because it has been through like all of the weather in the last like 6 years that we've lived in this house, but it's still kicking. So anyway, we love outside life here. Okay, here we have Avato Espresso. This I think is my favorite coffee candle actually from HomeWorx. I will say, I wish it was just a little bit stronger in terms of strength and throw. This one was a little bit light. I did warm the last little bit of it, by the way, probably the last half of it underneath my lamp. So this hunk of wax at the bottom here, there's no fragrance left in here. But yeah, if you hated coffee shop, but you want to try a coffee scent from HomeWorx and you're okay maybe with it being on the slightly lighter end of the strength and throw spectrum, check out Avato Espresso. I would love for HomeWorx to tweak this one and amp up the strength and throw. I want my coffee scents to smack me in the face, and that one just did not. Here we have, this surprised me, Gardenia from Kringle. This is the 3-wick. It's also available in the 2-wick format. I loved it. Listen, I'm not a huge floral person. I was a florist for like over 10 years. Like I think probably 12 years by the time that I decided I need to take a break from this. And I am now finally starting to appreciate florals again. To me, flowers reminded me of work. So didn't like them for a very long time, but that gardenia is so pure and beautiful and just accurate. So if you are a floral person, you have to check it out. And I think by next summer, I will really be into the florals. Like, I really kind of started getting into them this year, but they're still not something that I would be like, woo, florals, but I'm getting there, which makes me happy. Oh gosh, okay, Sand and Santal. This is another one of the new fragrances for spring summer from Country Candle. Obviously this one went into a crock, not because I didn't like it, I loved it, but I got like 2 weeks of fragrance out of this like half candle here that I popped into the crock in this room. It smelled amazing in this room, so good, perfect. This, I need this in the wax melts as well. I would buy a ton of wax melts in this one. And honestly, I think I'd buy another candle too to pop into the downstairs powder room. I think it's a great scent for that. Lemon Tea and Roses. Listen, this one, I love the scent, but the wicks on this one, they were rough. Country Candle did tweak the wicks this go around with these releases. And I think most of the candles for me, the wicks worked out fine. But this Lemon Tea and Roses, they kind of dudded out. So I think Kringle still has some work to do with the Country Candle line. They are 100% soy now. I personally love that. I know a lot of you guys are mad that they're no longer paraffin. I find soy to be much cleaner burning myself. Paraffin is, I don't know, I don't love it. And I can smell that paraffin note. A lot of people say they can smell the soy in the soy wax. I can smell the paraffin and the paraffin wax, and it ruined a lot of fragrances for me. And I just didn't think the strength and throw was like worth it for like the mess and the amount of babysitting that I had to do with paraffin. So I was glad about the changeover, but I understand that a lot of people really weren't a huge fan of it. So there are still lots of paraffin candle companies out there. So yeah, there's still options for people who like paraffin, but I like that more is opening up in the world of soy for those of us that also enjoy this soy. Man, he is sawing along today. Sorry about that. Powdered sugared crepe, so good. But this was basically just another hot cider donut, another sugared beignets from HomeWorx. So if you're thinking about this one, please know if you've tried the other two, you've probably already smelled this one. So it might not be a necessity for you. I really happen to like hot cider donuts, so I was really into that one. But if you've already had it, you've already had it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to edit this, sorry. There's just a ton of wax melts in here, so bear with me. Mochaccino crumb cake. Oh man, this one, okay, I will say, I was crazy impressed with how little wax was left in the bottom of this jar. I finished it the whole way, right? There is like maybe a drop of wax in total in the bottom here. I don't know how some HomeWorx candles do this, but they do. Burned great in terms of there was no sooting, no problem with the wicks. It was fine, but it was lighter. It was lighter, and again, I just prefer a little more oomph for my candles, and this was one of those HomeWorx candles from 2022 that was just a dud, strength and throw wise, is what it is. Raspberry coconut cake. Man, this one here, a lot of people were so annoyed because this is basically a repackage of the raspberry coconut Snowball fragrance that came out during the holidays. So HomeWorx repackaged it and didn't really, you know, like mention that it was a repackage. So a lot of people bought this hoping to smell raspberry coconut cake, right? But they got the repackage scent that was out during the holidays. So I get it, it's annoying, and I do think it would be better for companies to just come right out and say, hey, we really like this scent. We feel like we can utilize it during other months of the year as well. So if you already have a bunch of your raspberry coconut Snowball candles, you might not need this one. But also, listen, these companies are in the market of selling their products. So it just is what it is. Look, lots of companies do this. It's not just a HomeWorx thing where they repackage. Lots of companies do this. So, okay, I'm gonna take a little break here, and then I'm gonna come back and we are gonna talk about, let's talk some wax melts. Okay, so guys, let's dive into it. I do have a few things in here that were some vendor wax things. So I have the Zeep Under Ruse wax melts. This was glazed donuts, fruity pebbles, cotton candy, and vanilla frosting. I really like this one. Here's my beef with what do you call these? Vendor wax companies. There we go. Vendor wax companies. I find that they have a lot of intense fragrance, but it's like for one day, and then the following day, you really don't smell anything. So they burn or they melt very hot and very quickly. Personally, I don't like to change out my wax every single day. That is just me being lazy. That's what that is. It's just me being lazy. And that's why I think I really gravitate towards Scentsy, is that one, it's not a Hunger Games style shopping experience. Usually they make enough to go around. Unless it's Disney related, in which case the adult Disney people, man, those guys shop and they mean business. Yeah, but for the most part, I can get what I want from Scentsy throughout the season that I'm interested in utilizing that particular scent. That's not always the case with vendor wax, and I hate that. It's just not my favorite style of shopping, and I also just don't like changing my wax every single day, so it is what it is. Okay, here we have the Pharmacist's Daughter in Dewdrops. This was a combination of pink sugar, cotton candy, and sugar plum. Nice, sweet, delicious scent. I actually really love this one. If Scentsy came up with this combo, I'd probably put it in my club. It's really good. But again, after a day, it was done. Here's L3 Waxy Wonders, and I believe that this particular vendor is going to be closing her shop from what I read in my comments section. This one was Bum Bum, Pear, and Lavender Mallow. This was a very interesting combination. I really like this one as well. If you're new here, I actually hate lavender, but I didn't mind it in here. I thought the other fragrance notes, the Shirosa 62, which is that Bum Bum scent, I thought the pear was really nice, and that kind of marshmallow sort of made sure that the pear didn't give off that like stinky BO type vibe that I typically get from pear fragrances. Listen, there are people out there who smell peach scented things and they think that reminds me of body odor. I'm one of the people who smells pear, and that to me translates as body odor to my nose. I don't know why, it just does. There are very few pear scents that don't smell like BO to me, and it's usually because there's other things mixed in. But yeah, I know, it's gross, but it is what it is. Some people just have weird noses. I might have a weird nose. Okay, a lot of these are from the current catalog, so you should be able to find these, but there are a few, I think, like club things that you'll see in here. Okay, Berry Bright. If you like, I'm just gonna try to break these down in the fragrance notes, like in their simplest terms. If you like a blue raspberry candied type of scent, you gotta try Berry Bright. It is delicious. I actually have, I think 4 or 5 6-packs sitting in my Scentsy cart right now, because I have used a lot of the stuff that I've already purchased for spring and summer, and I think I have at least 3 or 4 more bars of Berry Bright in that order. It's insanely good. I love it. Stella really loves it too. Mahalo Coconut. I love Mahalo Coconut. This is definitely a, like it's that salty ocean air type of coconut scent, where you've got a little bit of that like salty ocean breeze mixed in with just a beautiful kind of perfumey, slightly musky coconut. Love it. Love it. Okay, this one's in my club. It's Almond Croissant. You guys know how I feel about Almond Croissant. And let me just say, Scentsy, I'm watching you. And I have noticed that you have never put Almond Croissant up for voting for Bring Back My Bar. And I want you to know that I'm very mad about that. It's just, you know, in my most mom way of conveying my feelings, it hurts my heart that you're not offering us at least the opportunity to try to get that back for Bring Back My Bar, so that I can put more bars in my club, because I only have 2. Now I realize I do only get my Scentsy club on a quarterly basis. I could start purchasing, you know, every single month. I could up the frequency, but I don't know. I buy so much in between my clubs that doesn't make sense storage wise for me. So it is what it is. I just want to add more bars to my existing club. I don't want to have to like increase the frequency of all of the bars in my club. Does that make sense? Summer Moonlight. This is delightful. This is a nice mix of like a strawberry with almost like a little bit of like a perfuminess to it, like a floral perfuminess. I like this one. Now, I don't have a second one in my club quite yet, but I would consider purchasing more of that this summer. Here we have Pink Spreads Hope. This was leftover from last October. It was the breast cancer collection. I spent a lot of time on that. Happy birthday. We know how I feel about happy birthday. It's also in my club. I have 7 bars of happy birthday in my club, because luckily this one comes up for Bring Back My Bar voting somewhat frequently. So even though I've deleted a few of the happy birthday bars in the past, I was able to get more into my club. This is basically what I'm trying to do with Almond Croissant, but to no frickin' avail, because no one at Scentsy is listening to me. Starburst Sky. Okay, this one, I really am so perplexed at what people are smelling with this. Most people say this is a total dupe for them of Baccarat Rouge 540, but it smells like the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods. And I literally put the perfume and the bar next to each other and smelled them. And that's what this is. It's Vanilla Woods. I don't think it's Baccarat Rouge 540. I have that fragrance. I don't think it's Ariana Grande Cloud. I have that fragrance. This is the 7 Virtues. And you know what else I just discovered? I was adding more of this into my order. There's laundry detergent, you guys. I have to get the laundry detergent. I have to. I love that perfume, and sometimes I will douse my clothing in it so that I'm just like, it's just wafting off of me. It's probably too much, but that's okay. People don't have to be around me. I wear perfume for me. It's nice when I get compliments on it, but it's for me. Like, I want to smell like $1,000,000. And I don't care if other people don't like what I smell like, because I smell good. Those other people just don't have good taste. That's my theory. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, Daydream Oasis. Listen, this one has been around for a while, and I seem to order it every year. And every year I'm just like, I really like this. But do I like it enough to put it in my club? No. This is again another one of those like fresher types of fragrances. It definitely gives off some beachy vibes, but it's just not one that I could ever see myself clubbing for some reason. But I do like it. Every time I get it, I'm like, I like this. But then, yeah, I don't do anything with it. Okay. There's a couple of these in here. Is it just the one? Jeez, it's just the one. Where's the other one? I know I went through 2 of these. Sun Castles. Okay, Scentsy, you disappoint me with this one. It's an excellent Cheirosa 62 or Bum Bum Cream fragrance. It's pretty spot on. Maybe a little heavier on the pistachio and caramel even, but beautiful, so lovely. But one day and it's done. No. I can just go to vendor wax if I want that. I need this to last multiple days, at least 2. At least give me 2 days out of this. So I put it in my club, and then I took it out of my club. Because I don't know, I need my bars to perform more than like a day. I just do. But you know what I did put in my club instead is Cake Me to Paradise. Have you smelled this? Have you? I don't even think this is really like a cakey gourmand scent. It's just like tropical fruitiness. It's so good. She's in my club. I have, I think, just a 6-pack of this coming my way too. Love it. I love it. Kukui and Coconut. I have 2 more bars of Kukui and Coconut coming to me. This is absolutely delightful. It's a really nice, it's kind of an interesting mix of like a gourmandy sweet coconut with a perfumey type of coconut scent. There's just a lot of nuttiness to this one overall, but I think it's so beautiful, and I hope it keeps coming back. It's one that I probably should put in my club at the end of the season, but I probably won't. Here is a Crazy Coconut. I don't remember when I got this, but it says Scentsy Kids. I feel like this was a Bring Back My Bar. Do we think this was a Bring Back My Bar? I think it was. But gosh, it's good. This is more of a, just a straight up musky coconut. I love it. I don't know what it has to do with kids though. My kid isn't into musky coconut scents. Is your child? Why would this be marketed towards children? What do children know about coconuts? Anyway, Night Masquerade. This was part of the Mardi Gras collection. I have 2 of these. This was the perfumiest out of that whole collection. I didn't love it, but it was fine. I liked it. I liked it. I warmed this one more towards the beginning of the month, but I would never repurchase this one. We have another Happy Birthday we've already discussed, and then we have a Berry Sweet, which is mostly strawberry. mostly strawberry, but there's also, what is that note in here? It's not lemon. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's the type of strawberry that they're using here. It is, there's also some blueberry for sure. But I think the strawberry that they're using is maybe not sweet enough for my liking. I'm not sure what's up with this one. I'm not sure that I would repurchase it. It's not bad. And I think if you like strawberry and blueberry, it's worth a try, but I don't know that I would like clamor for this one. And we are now, I'm pretty sure, at over 40 minutes and I need to knock it off. And luckily that's the end of the bucket. So we're done. I would like to thank Alphonse, who is in my, you can't tell, we're both wearing black today, but here's his face so you can see. It's so cute. His beautiful little silky velvety ear. Let's thank Alphonse for his pug ASMR. I appreciate you guys being here. Remember to check out the description box and don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Give this video a thumbs up and I will see you tomorrow for some beauty empties. Take care. Toodaloo.